you could do that in early spring or late spring, and that would be your first self-generated income. Same with pigs. You could buy pigs, but you're going to have to find food to feed them. With cows, the same problem. You don't have the grass stocks available until early summer, unless you buy it, which is going to cost you. Sheep, yes, and straw for horses, sheep, not sheep, horses, cows, and pigs. Also going to be a time. That's going to be fall before you get that late summer if you go wheat. But you're effectively, you're going all the way to fall before it's even feasible for you to generate income by your own farming. Now, obviously, doing this, going out contracting, cultivating other farmers' fields, planting them, ploughing them, fertilizing them, that will generate income. And in some cases, if it's a big field, a lot of income, but you're going to need the money to buy it. So seasons is hard mode. But seasons in Farm Sim 22 could potentially be harder mode because the time it's between harvesting and best price for a product. You could take advantage of the supply chain. So grow wheat, take it to the mill, grind it to flour, take it to the bakery, make it into bread, or however that works. Now that potentially could change the schedule on best price for wheat. So that's a thing. Let's see, what can we do here? Spam. Yeah, that's a good one. So, he's gone, and I probably wasted a whole ton of liquid fertilizer there, by being stationary. But yeah, so as I was saying, the best way to make money in seasons during your first year is probably contracting until you get to the point where you hit your own harvest, and as soon as you're at your own harvest, that's where your income happens. Now with Realismus's seasons, it seems that the best price for the majority of crops is winter, early-ish midwinter is when the best price happens. So now some of our crops have been in storage since late summer because, late summer. So I'm holding on to those for 6 months. But things like the potatoes, we've just finished them. We've got to wait till early winter to sell them. It's not long. I'm thinking that probably means I'm going to not make it round the entire field with all of this. It might do. I can see where I was on the other side. I mean, it's kind of like with wool. That's why we've got so much wool in storage. That might be about 1 day's worth of wool. Because the best time to sell wool is the last day of spring. Or the day before the last day of spring, or a couple of days before the last day of spring. And that's the only time that sheep produce wool, is during spring. So production from early to mid-spring, I can sell it that same year. But anything in late spring, I'm going to hold on till mid-spring next year when the price is the best. But that does mean that we're holding on to a ton of wool. Don't let me forget to buy the wool crates, the 64,000 litre wool crates that I can just drop in the production boxes. Because we're seriously going to be producing wool next year with 1,000 sheep. So the whole, it's interesting. I mean, obviously base game you can get started immediately because I'll start in farm manager mode. I will buy a farmyard, I'll buy some equipment. Now I'll look at the fields. Oh look, that one's ready to harvest, that one's ready to harvest, I'll buy those. And you go out there with your harvester before you even start planting anything, and you make some more money. Or that's in its final stage of growth. I'll buy that one and fertilise it once and then harvest it and get money out. Now, of course, if you're really strapped, you can obviously, with even in 22, you can just harvest the field and sell off straight off the field. It's not going to be the best value, but at least it's going to get you running. I think it was Dagwin was doing an was it Dagwin? Can't remember. Someone was doing an overview and suggested that giants had effectively geoed the entire world. So potentially map makers didn't even have to worry about creating a local weather map for their map. They just had to select a geographic region. So you could do Central Europe, Mediterranean, potentially. I don't know how this works, and I'm not a map maker, and I have no intention of being one. So, but potentially what could happen, Midwest, Florida, sort of South Coast, California. If giants have gone and said there are geographic regions, we have created crop and weather maps for those regions, and all the map maker has to do is to say, my map is based in this region. Then theoretically it doesn't matter if you're playing any one of Oxygen David's UK maps, the planting and the weather and everything else is going to be similar. And we're out. Okay, let's fold that up. Gonna have to buy some more. How do we do? Now 69% done. So we'll use less than a tank. Obviously we bought 2,900 litres with us. It'll take about, we'll only get 2,000 from the store. But that was 2/3. Oh, look. Drive over a Prius. And it was probably the banning of a spam dude and reporting him that caused me to run out prematurely anyway. We'll blame him. He's just a troublemaker. Oh, so yeah, major palavers going on with World of Warships and loot crates and reintroduction of the Missouri for, oh, you can buy loot boxes and it might take you 45 or 75 loot boxes to unlock the Missouri. Well, they've released the loot boxes. And you can basically look at what's in the first loot box. Each loot box costs you 1,500 gold. So I had a look at my first loot box, and it contained the USS Missouri. So sort of, well, I was just interested in knowing what was in my first loot box. But I already have the ship because I bought it back when it was worth $1 million free experience and 1 in-game credit. It was one of the original people to get the ship, and so it's sort of, well, I've already got the ship, so it's nice that it's in my first loot box, but that's not worth anything to me. But then I started reading around, and it's sort of, yeah. If you already have the Missouri, we will refund you 19,200 gold doubloons. So sort of, well, don't usually buy loot boxes. But what you're telling me here is if I give you 1,500 gold, you will give me 19,200 in return. That seems like a fair deal on my side, so I will take you up on that offer. So I did. Now, I wouldn't advise anybody to buy loot boxes to get the Missouri, or even do the mission sequence and pay $75 for it either. I don't think the ship's worth that. It's a poor man's Iowa, which is free of charge and has radar as a gimmick, but the radar is short range. So yeah, it's not a good ship. There are better ships out there. You could spend your money far more wisely if you choose to spend your money at all. Me personally, don't choose to spend my money on any World of Warships thing. So it's sort of, most of the time I look at these offers and it's sort of, yeah, open this, yeah, here's a loot box, your first loot for a ship that really isn't worth that much in game. I think someone worked out you'd spend $200 if you bought all of the loot boxes and got the ship in the last loot box, which absolutely ludicrous. And most of the time, on these promotions, I'll call it that. I'll look at it and it's sort of, oh, you get a couple of premium flags for 1,500 gold. No, not spending money on that. Especially not since if you play the game, you can get a number free once a week of premium flags. So why should I pay for something that I can get free? Not in as great a quantity, but yeah, I just look at it and say, well, that was nice. Yeah, I'm not paying for that, but yeah, whatever. But to actually get the ship in the first box that I already have, so it's sort of, well, I don't need it. Oh, but you're giving me that. Well, I think you've persuaded me. Just this once, I'm gonna buy your loot box. And next time you do this, I'm probably not going to do it again. I'm just going to look what's in the first loot box and laugh. Well, I guess this is as far as we got last time. But yeah, I mean, the problem is, and that's part of the whole shitstorm that's going on with wargaming at the moment, is everything is coming in loot boxes. And yeah, it's a money sink. And one of their promotions, they actually put the promotion code on the URL. The last 5 letters was WHALE, whale. It's sort of, oh, so that's what you think of your customers? Well, screw you. Now, I play World of Warships pretty much free to play. I have in the past bought premium ships that interest me, but most of my premium ships have been free, complete dozens of missions and will give you a free crap premium ship. Yeah, okay, fine. I think once a year they'll do play a series of missions and will give you a tier 6 premium ship, which really isn't worth much. They're all based on tech tree ships, so it's an extra ship that's like one of the tech tree ships. But yeah, that's nice to have. So I've got over my time playing World of Warships, I've got a ton of premium ships, but most of them I didn't pay for. I just invested the time playing the game. And it's a free-to-play game, but they need money in order to keep the servers running, pay the programmers, etc., etc. So, but they have been going seriously over the top on that count, that a lot of players are very upset with them. There's a big kerfuffle with their community contributors as well, which isn't really the subject of FarmSim, but suffice to say, a whole ton of their top tier community contributors quit. So while some of them are still putting out streams or YouTube videos for World of Warships, they're not supporting the game. They just play it because it's a fun game to play. It's a game that's fun. It's just produced by a company that's being the poor side compared to the likes of EA Games and Bethesda. And they do not have sterling reputations either. But when someone says you're worse than Bethesda or EA Games, that's seriously saying you suck bad. course I've got no idea what I'm going to do with 19,200 gold in the game, because I don't think there's anything that really interests me in buying, and the only thing out there is things like premium ships and sort of, well, why? Okay, I think we're getting close to done here. Down to the front tank only, I think. Okay. Gonna run this over to the edge now. We'll try and make the loops more even, I guess you could say. Because I haven't been starting from the edge, I've been starting along the edge, so there you are. I'm always coming back on where I started the last lap. Okay. Here on cruise control, we are 86% done, so nearly done here. And then we get paid lots. And of course there's a whole ton of silage fermenting down at the BGA that we'll be able to sell late tomorrow, game day. No. It's 45 hours last night. We've gone about 12 hours since last night, so 36. So still a day and a half, so all day tomorrow plus half the next day. Late form. As I said, this is really the sort of the lagging point of the farm, if you like. I've got the oilseed radish to plant in that old potato field. And then we leave that to sit until spring. So we won't be adding anything else to it in the meantime. So we're really on the wind down to winter. We've got all of our fields completely done. So kind of happy on that. That's an achievement for restart year one. All we have is the financial reckoning of what we get when we sell it all. That'll be good. So we'll probably fill out the next few days, I guess, with fertilization contracts. There'll probably be another one on this field before much longer. And what else do we need? I might do a baling contract because, well, why not? There's one out there that pays 45,000. We've got all of the baling equipment we need, so it's not like I have to spend out on anything. Obviously, the bonus income, we have to wait 3 game days for the silage to ferment before we can sell it. But it's all income, and at this point, income may, let's do that check, 93%. We're 225,000 in the hole at the moment, so I'd kind of like to get that done because that's costing us 1,500 a day. Again, something else I believe that Seasons scales is the cost of debt. So play 3-day seasons and you're your £225,000 debt is going to cost you about 4,200 a day. And if you drop it to 8-day seasons, it's going to cost you quite substantially less than 1,400 a day. Whee! Take advantage of the speed up. I might take this tractor down to the store anyway. We'll fill up with fertilizer and take a look at the other big fertilizer contract. It's probably going to take us to two things of fertilizer to do it. But I don't mind that. And if we end up with leftovers, we're going to need some. Yeah, we're going to need some. Eventually, sometime or other, one day. So, a nice mid-autumn day, morning, on Oakfield Farm. Spin it to the left. Oh, I missed a bit. Who cares? Yes, you take care. So we will be back next week Saturday, barring anything else going on. And I'm not aware of anything at this time. And what? Yeah. So everybody have a good week. Take care of yourselves. And as I said, we'll be back next week on Saturday. I think for now, we're done here. I'm out. Goodbye.